In 2026, a single software launch shattered the valuations of legacy enterprise tech stocks. The company behind it was nearing a $1 trillion valuation, powered by a tool designed to automate the exact cognitive tasks humans spend years in college mastering. The chief architect of this software is Dario Amodei. He is a physicist who often prioritizes raw scientific data over the typical optimism found in Silicon Valley boardrooms. Amodei has stated that superhuman AI could arrive within 2 years. He expects this technology to eliminate a massive share of entry-level white-collar jobs. He admits that sounding this alarm is directly against his company's commercial interests, yet he refuses to stop detailing the risks. Previous waves of automation targeted physical labor on factory floors. This wave is aimed at the modern cubicle, performing the reading, writing, and analysis that define the knowledge economy. The person building the tools of displacement is the same individual mapping out their impact. Amodei's approach is rooted in biophysics. He earned a PhD studying the electrophysiology of neural circuits, measuring how groups of neurons behave together. This gave him a quantitative framework for managing complex, unpredictable systems. He carried that mindset to OpenAI, where he helped lead early model development by focusing on rigorous measurement rather than market hype. His critical breakthrough was reinforcement learning from human feedback. A chaotic spray of raw data points enters a structured loop. Human feedback filters that noise into a single controllable output line. This stable architecture turned a research curiosity into enterprise software. In 2021, Amodei left OpenAI with his sister Daniela and several colleagues to found Anthropic. They structured it as a public benefit corporation, making safety the core mission of the company. The pitch worked. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt became an early backer, stating he invested in Amodei's scientific methodology rather than a traditional business plan. By solving the scientific problem of control, Amodei unlocked the ability to build AI that could execute real-world corporate jobs. In 2026, Anthropic launched Claude CoWork, the practical application of this highly controlled technology. In this side-by-side comparison, the left shows a traditional chatbot, a one-to-one loop assisting with isolated tasks only when prompted. On the right, an AI agent uses a central node to autonomously execute entire multi-step workflows, chaining tasks together without human intervention. It targets high-value sectors: sales, human resources, corporate finance, and investment banking. The market reaction was immediate. Enterprise software stocks fell as investors calculated how many traditional software platforms and their people this tool could replace. It marks the transition from software that aids a worker to software that assumes the role. Amodei detailed the consequences of this shift in his 2026 essay, The Adolescence of Technology. He warned that as software absorbs the functions of the office, the wealth generated will concentrate in the hands of a small number of tech leaders. As the CEO of a company valued at nearly $1 trillion, Amodei is at the very center of that concentration. To address this, he and his co-founders pledged to give away 80% of their personal wealth, an attempt to mitigate the inequality their own technology is accelerating. He also fights to keep his company independent from external pressures. When the U.S. Department of Defense labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk, Amodei took them to court and won an injunction, with the judge calling the DoD's move a form of retaliation. Inside Anthropic, he maintains a lean structure with only one direct report. He spends nearly 40% of his time enforcing a culture of radical honesty, ensuring employees can speak the truth about AI risks without fear. When the architect of the new economy is divesting his fortune and fighting legal battles to maintain control over his creation, the everyday white-collar worker can no longer ignore the transition.